Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to the KVJ Friday After the Show podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple beers going here. It's all good.
Friday, bitches.
Yep.
Woohoo.
Good stuff, good times. Good stuff and good times. You got a little Due South, Cat 3 going on here.
If we got that going on, we got to break into song a little bit at some point. You're going off for 2 weeks.
Well, a week and a half. Yeah, I take off on Monday for people wanting the time specs, and then I am back the following Wednesday. I think we land at like 8 a.m. So I'm back pretty much in the morning. But from what I hear, and this is what's going to be different for me, is I hear getting back through customs is a little bit of a pain in the ass. And thank you for all the cool little perks. Like somebody had said, hey, there's a mobile app you can do like your paperwork on an app and like online, so you won't need a pen. And so this is just, like with traveling, it's about these hacks. It's about like all those little things that are the difference between having a good experience and just being like going, shit, like I gotta sit here for another 90 minutes.
That.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I'm sure I'm gonna come back with 80 things. Like if I just would have known that. And so I'm trying to figure out as much as I can. And there's not a ton of people you run into that've gone to Israel. So,
but just remember, be in the moment.
Absolutely.
Enjoy yourself, even if it's a setback. Just smile and say, "I'm on vacation, bitches."
It'd be good, and I'm fine with it. You know me, I'm chill. Like nothing ever really bothers me. A lot of it is I try to anticipate for the queen because she has low tolerance with any kind of inconveniences. So I usually a lot of times try to knock down barriers for her.
Gotcha.
And trying to get her there, and so that she's content is a big part of my challenge.
Gotcha.
Go with the flow, Kev. I'm good, whatever.
Smile, look around, and say, "Man, I'm a lucky dude. I get to travel."
That's just it.
I got great hair. I mean, I'm saying blessings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, if we had to go down the list,
the fucking
it's a long
blessings.
list. And hair's close to the top. Yeah. Thank you, Hair Club.
One of my buddies approached me at the NAMI walk and said, "Hey, I'm starting to lose my hair. What do I got to do?" I mean, motherfuckers pull me aside about your hair.
Go into Hair Club, yeah, because it's everybody's different. Can't even tell you, but I feel like you're in good hands, and there's so many options for whatever you want to do.
He told me the same thing that you told me was when you started getting down about your hair.
Yeah.
Was because you saw your head on that dome camera.
Yeah.
And he saw his head on the dome camera. You would never know he's bald unless you had a camera over his head. He's got a little balding going, a little Friar Tuck going. He goes, that's what because I saw that dome angle and fuck, I'm done.
Yeah, no, that does. That's frustrating. And then mine was just getting frail and weak, and it was just starting to all over. And it was, I was really at that line where it's like, okay, you got to decide one way or the other. I felt like it's either all coming off or go the opposite direction. I'm glad I went the way I did because, unfortunately, I need hair. I was talking to Virginia about that. I'm like, I saw like Steve Harvey's got a beard going on, and we're talking about that guy that you don't like.
Wayne Brady.
Yeah. And they're both bald and they got the beards. And I think your pigment has a lot to do with that. They're both dark guys,
But it's strong masculine facial features.
True, part
that can
of
pull
it.
it off.
And I think it's a combo of both. I mean, like
Okay.
I've seen some guys like, my trainer, Kev, he's kind of the same thing. He's got the balding thing going on, doesn't necessarily have the traditional strong features, and he looks great. And I think it's because, he's black. He's got the darker skin, and I think that does help.
I would do the Rick Ross. If I was going bald, I would shave my head, and then I would just grow a beard out.
Yeah, you're darker complected. Yeah. I'm so freaking pale, man.
I don't think you're ever going bald. You got a
full it's amazing.
ass head of hair.
If it hasn't happened by now, yeah.
Put that thing on YouTube.
You're good.
I'm going gray. That's for sure.
That's a lot of hair right there.
Short. Too.
It's thick.
It's very
Yep.
thick. If you want to touch it, you can.
Take your hat off. Leave your hat off. Why do you put the hat on so much? You have great hair.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you never need to get married because she's going to be right here.
I mean, on my ass about every fucking thing I do. Why do you blink so much? Why do you do that? Why do you wear a black shirt? Blah, 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 blah. Fuck. Dude, get off my ass.
Can I pour you a shot?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Great decision. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock event tonight. Yeah, drinking the podcast.
Yeah. So anyway, Heather from the Pizzle said, will the show go on when Kev's away with the mice play? Yes.
They will. But, normally when you're gone, we like to have like a big, fun, crazy party. And we call it, while Kevin's away,
Yeah.
we will just be unruly and nuts and play all kinds of games that Kevin wouldn't approve of and
Yeah.
just act wild and crazy. We can't keep that up for 4 days.
Well, I told her, I said, we don't have to have a wild and crazy show every time. We can do topics and just take phone calls.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, the people, 80% of the people are going to understand the situation, and 20% of the people are going to be fuck-faced pricks. Those are just the numbers in anything in life. You're going to get people, oh my God, the show's so different when Kevin's not. Well, no shit, numbnuts. Of course it's going to be a little different.
and I think when I'm good, I do a lot of those pockets of like I'll take a Friday off, go to Columbus to a game or something like that. When you do a freaking insane show, that's awesome. But every single day of that, it's like
we'll just do topics. So we don't have to go too crazy. I think people just want us to be on. Just have something new.
I think if you guys are just doing new regular stuff and kind of almost fit into the form of like what we typically do, and it's just anything. When anybody is gone, the show is noticeably different. It's just the way it is. I mean, the show is, and we understand that. We realize that. That's why we always try to, as much as we can, be off on the exact same days because it is KVJ and you need that. You miss any of the KVJ, even Denny's in suits, if one of us is off, then there's a difference.
Sure.
No doubt.
Well,
we know that.
People act like you don't know that. Well, of course,
we do.
Of course you know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's going to be a different dynamic to it. There always is. When one of us is missing if Jaybird's not here, you're missing, okay, well, it's not. That dynamic's gone. Virginia's not here. You're missing the zingers. If I'm not here, just the boring organization.
So to me, when we struggle is when we do the actual like bits where it's kind of like the vaudeville stuff. We need Kevin for that kind of stuff. We need someone to drive the ship, or one of us has to be the acting host, and that's all they do. Because if not, it's it is tough. But topic stuff and all that, I think we'll be fine, Mom. I really do.
Oh, yeah, you'll be fine with all that stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be easy to play.
At some point over the few days, can we just at least play Name That Nut with Denny's?
Virginia, that's a horrible bit. I love you so much.
Yeah.
It's such a shitty bit.
Name That Nut.
She just likes it for the jingle. The follow through after the jingle, it's
awful.
god awful.
So just do the jingle and then just do something else.
Poor sweet Dennis, he's a horrible actor. He had to act like he didn't know what nut he was eating because the bit was just so easy. He's like, I don't know.
Here's a peanut.
It's a cashew. He knows it's a walnut. Now he's got to act like it's not. Nobody wins.
Wait,
Nobody
he
wins.
wasn't honest?
No.
Yes.
Oh, wow. The curtain has been lifted.
Well, I think it's honestly it's good for Denny's because I used to be Denny's before I got here, and that's what I did, and I got to where I was by having to sit in because I had the laziest host ever, and so I was always forced to do his work for him because he just wasn't about doing it, and it forces you to train and do better, and kind of sit in this chair and do it, and. I think having Denny's over here, it's a good experience for him. He gets to try something different and run the ship. And, I mean, if you can master what he does over there and then in here, then, bam, just sharpens his skill set.
We'll handle the content. Denny's will handle the technical. We'll be good. We'll be real good.
Yeah, totally agree. So that's what's going to go on, for the most part.
I'll bring nuts just in case.
I mean, fuck. She's going to wear me down. We're doing Name That
Maybe
Nut.
you can do it on the podcast.
Like, I don't even know why I even... We're doing Name That Nut.
I hear it in my head, and you're right. It sounds awful.
It's not good. The first time it was good.
It was bad.
The only time...
Second time it was real bad.
The first time it was good.
Yeah, Virginia wants to keep going back
The
to it.
second time I forgot how we did it.
On the air, by the way.
On the air.
But the first time was good only because it was so bad. It's, that's cute. We got the jingle and all that.
Yeah.
The novelty of the bit was how bad it was.
Yeah.
The second time, it just was bad, uncomfortable.
Third time, people are like, okay.
It was bad, uncomfortable, and uncomfortable.
I feel like we can turn the ship around.
Oh, don't worry. My bit, grosser didn't go over that well either. So.
Well, like I said, I've left you guys the keys of the kingdom, so all those kind of bits. And as I was kind of going through just a quick scanning, there was a lot of stuff that to me jumped out. Like, why haven't we done like Stoner Jeopardy with Denny's? I'm like, why haven't we done that bit for a while? So
the one we did the other day, the raise your hand. That's a great,
raise your hand
fun
pull.
bit.
Yeah, in fact, that's scheduled in for next week, and you guys can do that. That's on there. So you guys have all that stuff, pretty much everything that I go to, you guys are going to have everything that I go to, and you just pick and choose. Be like, yeah, let's try that bit this day.
We'll still do the bits Kevin didn't approve.
Okay.
I just don't want you feeling overwhelmed like we have to have, because I understand that those are very high-pressured shows. At 10 o'clock, we're like, oh, my God, where's the fucking vodka?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make it special
Right.
and do something crazy
If
and
somebody
fun.
took my regular prep template that I have every day, I would freak out. Like, I'd be like, oh, my gosh, what's going to go on tomorrow's show? I couldn't imagine doing a week of that. So
Yeah, I got
Go
complete,
easy.
I
Yeah.
got complete confidence in us. We'll give the people something fresh, and then you're actually going out of town. I think the second week you're gone.
yeah.
Yes.
So I have
So-
a few.
So that is going to be best of.
No, it's gonna be me and Denny's.
You should do dirt. That actually.
I think I am gonna do
you
dirt.
should do dirt. That'd be great.
May take a phoner. Let's see what
You
happens.
Yeah.
should do squirt of the day.
Squirt of the day. It's very, very pornographic.
I was gonna say.
You can tell that term is taken over because anytime you hear anyone say the word squirt, why are you talking about your pussy?
Yeah. Do only porn news.
Yes.
The squirt of the day.
Oh man. Yeah. So there you go. So you're gonna have some interesting dynamics while I'm gone, and then I'll be back on that Thursday the 15th. Is when that is. Even though I'll be in town, I get to ride the Bright Line on Monday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, first time on that. Kind of excited.
I would tell you go first class on that thing because you get all the amenities of the little club, and then it's unlimited snacks and drinks and.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird. Like that's the only thing. Like I really want to take it down to like Miami and then just go hit the bars and stuff like that. But I mean, because we're getting on a plane and especially with the church group,
Is the church group going on the Bright Line?
Well, Pastor Sean, his wife's going with us.
Oh.
Yeah, because my wife was going to smoke a doobie before she went on the flight, so now she's had to go with another route. So, yeah.
She was going to smoke a doobie.
Yeah, she was. I'm like, where are you going to smoke this thing? She's like, I don't smoke wherever I want. I'm like, all right, you're going to get arrested before we get. I'm like,
I mean, it's
the
gonna-
queen is like, yeah, always.
Is it not even the pen? Is she actually going to roll a fucking
Queen
I don't know.
The
I don't
queen
know.
don't follow
Yeah.
your rules.
Yeah, she always. People wonder why. Like, I'm so square. I have to be. Like, I'm just like I'm always so nervous about. I come in here and I'm nervous. I go home. I'm nervous.
I just love that answer. We're going to smoke a I don't give a fuck. I'm going to smoke a doobie.
No, and she is, and you're like, oh god, yeah. So you're trying to get her through customs. So
That's funny.
Well, we had an issue a long time ago because we had gone on a cruise to Jamaica. I don't know if you remember that, but we came back from the cruise to Jamaica. And I remember we were over there, and I hardly ever smoke weed. I do it like in places where you would smoke weed.
Okay.
So-
Like Jamaica.
Yeah, like Jamaica, because
If
I
you're
went
going to smoke in Jamaica.
Or
when in
Oregon.
Rome.
Right.
Oregon, California.
So I smoked a doobie or a little bit of a doobie, and I mean weed just apparently. I go places where it's strong. I'm like I'm just lit up, right?
Was I on this cruise?
I think so. Was it a show cruise? I can't remember what was going on.
Because we did go on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and I think one of the stops was Jamaica.
Might have been, yeah. It's been so long ago, I can't remember. But this is, I think, right after the Queen and I had started dating.
Okay.
And so we're coming back through customs, and I think she was trying to smuggle a little bit of the weed with her.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She got busted?
Well, she had some kind of like, she had some kind of like traffic outstanding warrant, and they stop you for anything.
Oh.
So she gets pulled aside, and they've got her like in customs and whatever, and I see her, and she's trying to like get this shit out of her back pocket, So I'm like,
my God, what a nightmare.
all this kind of stuff is going on, and then they're
Wait,
like,
they're holding her, and she's got the weed on her?
yeah, because she didn't. And I'm freaking. Me, boy. I'm like freak. I'm like, oh my
That's
gosh,
an
this
anxiety
is so
attack.
bad. This is so bad. And so she was detained, was going to be arrested. Like, going, if you want her, you got to like bail her out. And I'm like, this is down in Miami, like the port in Miami. and I had a show to do the next day.
Oh.
I remember I was with my buddy Dennis, and I think I was. And so I had to drive from Miami to West Palm, get the money, come back to Miami, get her, drive back to West Palm, and then come do a show the next day. I think I got home at like 3 a.m. I was
Oh
like,
my god.
And then you couldn't talk about it.
yeah, well, I mean, you can't. First break be going. So my girlfriend had weed on her coming back from Jamaica.
That's what I mean. You can't go.
Yeah. Oh, it was just crazy. So
That
this
seems
is
like that should be in a movie, by the way.
yeah. Unfortunately, I've had so many movie moments. So I'm reminding the Queen. I'm like going, look. I don't know if you remember the last time you tried to get through customs. Let's just try to be cool. Like, let's just because they don't.
Can
play.
you just eat an edible on the Bright Line and call it good?
Well,
yeah, you can.
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah, I guess so. So but I think what it was is she got like I think went to a dentist and got a sleeping pill or something.
I mean that'll work too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope it's not that Ambien.
I don't know what it is.
From your dentist? I don't think dentists give out Ambien. That don't seem right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And nobody's done a practice run. You didn't do a Lunesta practice run. She didn't do her pill practice
You
run.
could do one tonight though.
I haven't even gotten the Lunesta prescription.
Oh.
You better get that today.
Somebody's supposed to pick it up, and I think they dropped the ball. I know.
Oh,
yeah, I've got all these kind of things that are
Ben,
just. Those are all the little
We
things that
gotta
are.
get Kev some edibles.
All the little things that are falling through the crack. No, the Queen's like, oh, don't worry, I got 4 sleeping pills. She said I got one for you there and one for you back, and same thing with me. And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Don't worry, I got this bong right here. We're gonna smoke. I don't fuck.
I've just got this
it.
vision of me with this church group on this plane, and I flip the fuck out. And then, it's like.
We'll have them pray for you.
They're just all mortified, like, wait a minute. And then we come back and, like, I got to switch churches or something.
No.
Good news could possibly be if you actually turn up in the whacked out news.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, just do something weird on
You
the
have
plane.
to report on your own story.
I would. I mean, I've been going, so let me just I'll put this front and center in the whacked out news. Let me tell you what I did.
That's when-
You may have heard a story.
We have to have that happen at least once on our career board. You report on somebody from the show in the whacked out news.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get froggy this weekend if you need it.
All right.
Well, then I have to report on it.
So that's all kind of like the fun stuff. Like the last minute, just like, okay, trying to get it all down and figure it all out. Let me see. Heather also wanted to know what happened to the sound effects during the whacked out news when Jason was doing sound effects for the scary stories. Got me to thinking about when he did it for the whacked out news.
I can bring it back. You never know. I thought some people loved it, some people hated it.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, I think the effects are good and fitting, and
We go through points too where we are into something and then we're just like sick of it.
That's how I am about Facebook phishing. I know some people like it, some people hate it. In my heart, I'm over Facebook phishing. That's just me.
We do it for
Yeah.
a little while and then we're like, okay, next.
Yeah,
I'm done for a while.
that does happen. I mean, you do something for a while and you just don't want to do it anymore.
Like Ariana Grande texting Pete Davidson on Twitter. Next.
Doesn't mean that I'm right with my opinion. That's just my personal how I feel with it.
Yeah, that's actually a big radio bit now.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Facebook phishing?
Yeah.
You started it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we started right here. I won bit of the year two. I don't even know how long ago it was. Yeah.
Look at
whoever
you.
did it, and I see everybody doing it. I'm like going, God, what an awful bit.
Yeah, I'm over
For
that
us,
bit.
it's like, okay, been there, done that.
yeah.
We're always trying to push ourselves. I know at least I am. I never like feeling like a hack. And if I keep doing the same thing over and over, I'm like, okay, I need to step it up.
Yeah, well, I think a big part of it, I do believe in that. I think once we get bored with something that, and so if there's not that passion behind it, we're not having a good time doing it, then I think it comes through. And I just believe in that. Not to mention, it makes it feel like it's a job.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt about Facebook phishing. It was kind of coming off a little forced for me personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all kind of felt the same way at the same time. Lastly, can I hear a Jaber do an impression of Regina's hip-hop laugh? It randomly pops in my head, and I bust out laughing.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. That's a bit we can do.
Okay.
Hip hop laugh or Virginia, and see if you can tell the difference because you do this one weird laugh. It's so bizarre.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it. Bizarre's a good thing. When I say bizarre, I mean that as a compliment. But yeah, it's like, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Chrissy's like, no way, you guys steal from the Calta show.
Who?
Facebook fishing.
The Caltish. The Caltish show.
Yeah. What is his first name?
Calhead.
No, he used to go by Cowhead. I can't remember what his name is.
Radio people that want to do feuds are so lame. It's so stupid, and it's not real, by the way. When you think it's real, they're not really mad at another show. They're trying to fill air and get content because they know everyone's going to get emotionally involved in it. People just love that kind of shit.
And a lot of times, like if you're a new show, what you should do is go after the shows that are bigger than you. And it's really just about publicity. Mm-hmm. It's not about you really hate them. It's about you want some of their shine.
But I think that guy actually I think he had a big show, didn't he? Cowhead, I thought he was pretty big.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if I can remember, it's Mike. I don't know, Tampa radio, I think it was like Bubba the Love Sponge kind of was there. And I don't know, there's weird drama. And that's a market for whatever reason, Tampa. They do a lot of that. They love radio feuds because I remember you had MJ.
They're pretty redneck in Tampa.
Well, you had that. It's just I don't know. Maybe the audience here just loves
I think
radio
they
guys
do.
that fight because you had MJ and Bubba, and then they were going back and forth, fighting really hard. And I think,
but are they really mad at each other though?
I don't know. I don't know. I think
MJ's
they
a
really
little
do hate each
bitch. I hate MJ.
So you really hate MJ?
That's a real feud. If that bitch wants to go, let's do it.
Remember, because MJ did the same thing with us a long, long time ago.
And he tried to fight with us, and I didn't know who he was. I'm like, who is this little orphan Annie-looking motherfucker in our hallway, like trying to poke me? I don't even know you. What are you?
Yeah, because my cousin used to live over there, and he's like, MJ's coming after you, saying you stole some of his shit. I'm like, what? I'm like,
I don't even know who you are or what your frequency is, much less how I would listen to your show, you little bitch.
Especially then, yeah, because now you could listen, digitally.
That didn't happen back then.
Right? Yeah,
you had to be like able to hear it.
And I was so confused. My cousin, he's like, MJ's lighting you up all day today, like saying you're stealing shit from him. I'm like, going, what does his audience in Tampa even know who I am? Why does he care? I'm like, going, I can't even hear his show. How would I listen or steal anything from him?
He just wanted to fight.
So my question is...
And then he came in our studio and was like all sweet, and that's why, Virginia over here, mouth of the South, she's like going, oh, no, bitch, you don't come in here and like rip us on the radio and then kind of come in here like we're all buddy-buddy. She's like, fuck you and your curly-ass hair. And I was like, all right. Kind of deserved it.
I would like to, if that guy got real, was he legit mad or was he trying to fill airtime?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
why with us? But I don't put up with that shit.
But why would he care?
We'll get comments every now and then where somebody will be going, oh, somebody's doing your bit or whatever, and and a lot of times it's somebody that I do know, and I'm like, yeah, I talked to him the other week and I said, hey, try this idea.
I gave them the bit.
Yeah, people borrow ideas from. That's what people don't understand in radio. People will borrow ideas from each other, and they're cool with that.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm glad they use it. I hope it worked for them. That kind of like thing. And so that's mainly really, that's the real dynamic of how it works for the most part. And then, shows that you respect that, you trade back and forth stuff.
Well, you always try to come out with original content. That's always the number one goal. But yeah, people totally share.
Well, and you do because, you look at the late night games that are there, and they've got writing rooms of 10 to 15 people. Have you ever seen, and they do now show like the behind the scenes of them writing.
Fascinating.
It's 10 to 15 people sitting in a room. And, for us, we've got, 3, 4 tops, and, not everybody does all the content stuff. So, yeah, and we've got to fill 4 hours, and they fill 1. And so
right.
there's a big difference. So yeah, so you look for things to try to. Otherwise, you would have some A bits, and the rest would be like B and C shit. So you like, oh, that's a good idea. We'll do that.
Well, sometimes it was. When you change the players on a bit, you change the bit sometimes.
Yeah,
if Mo and Sally did Drunk Girl Trivia, it would be a completely different bit than we would do it.
Yeah.
It would sound different.
Yeah, so we'll be like, okay, that's an interesting concept. Yeah.
If somebody told them they had to do Drunk Girl Trivia.
I'm just using that as an example, but it would sound different than how the KVJ does it.
That example is playing out in my head, and I love it.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, some of the stuff that goes on there. So yeah, yeah, whatever it was all the way back to MJ was,
MJ was bigger than us, which is what I don't understand. Why would you go for some station in a smaller market than you that, like...
Well, we didn't share audience.
We didn't share an audience.
I can see somebody in your own market and they're a bigger show than you and you try to get attention and this and that. I still don't like the concept, but then it makes sense.
Well,
Then
he might be a guy that's got a big old ego, and he was legit. Man, when I say all of those feuds are fake, I mean I'm talking not every feud is fake. Clearly, you don't like MJ. What I'm saying is,
if I have a feud, it's real.
Yeah, some of these radio stations do feuds just to get listenership up, like some of the rap feuds is what I mean by that.
Maybe that little sawed-off motherfucker came around and listened to our show, and game recognizes game, like they say on Big Brother. Maybe he knew we were better than him. So,
Yeah, to me, it like doesn't even, there are other people, I'll tell you, like if somebody comes, I'm completely honest, somebody's like going, oh, you guys stole that bid. I'll be like going, well, yeah, I got that bid. It's typically like I only take from, friends of ours, mainly because I respect them and they do good ideas.
And they shared it with you.
Yeah, yeah, and I share ideas with them. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, they're going, I took that bid, or no, I didn't. And, with the Mike Calta, it's like, yeah, I never stole a bid.
The way I look at it, it's almost kind of like when you play a board game with a bunch of people at your house. Everyone can play that board game, but every time you play it with different people, you're going to get a different result. It's going to be different banter, different talking, and that's kind of what it's like.
Yeah. So I think what's going on in Tampa, and this is just how the whole radio market there has been. You had MJ and Bubba were going at each other. And then I think Mike Calta came from Bubba's show, and he was Cowhead, and then he had Spice Boy. And now I think Mike Calta changed his name from Cowhead because I think a lot of people were calling him out because he had stole it from Man Cow. Yeah, so you want to talk about a guy who stole. So I think he had stole the moniker Cowhead from Man Cow.
It's all cow shit.
Right. And so people are going, hey, you're stealing shit. And so it's pot calling the kettle black there. And so then he's got his own show, and I think with Spice Boy now, I think they hate Bubba. And then I just read an article about, Bubba's not doing well, or he keeps losing stations. And so I don't really know. I don't pay a ton of attention to Tampa, but I think that's kind of it. Now, MJ's not even there. He's like in New York.
He is in New York because my grandmother just so happened to one day be going through the dial, and she loves 1010 Wins.
Yeah, right.
That's one of her. It's grandma's, one of grandma's staples when she was still in New York. Now she's in Kentucky with my dad. But she's like telling me one day about how she hates this guy on the radio, and she thinks because I'm in radio, I know everybody in radio and every single move that anybody makes. So she's telling me about this new guy on her station, 1010 Wins, and she's like, I hate him. I did some research. It's the same guy I hate. Me and Grandma hate the same guy.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, he wound up there. Yeah.
It's just, what are the odds?
Yeah.
It's all kind of silly, though, when you kind of break it all down. I mean, people in Tampa, they don't even know you, and motherfuckers from other stations who've never even heard you, they act like they're really mad at you, and they're not.
Yeah, they've done research on it because they research everything in radio. And like I said, Tampa might be different. But, yeah, they found that in pretty much every radio market they did it, people just don't like them. They don't give a shit. They're like, who? I don't care. Like, what?
There's going to be that 10% that loves to be aggressive.
And it's usually male-oriented stations.
It's going to be
male-oriented, redneck. Oh, look at what they got in Tampa.
And you can tell they're all kind of cut from the same cloth by the way they tweet at you. It's all extremely violent and vulgar, and you guys fucking suck, and you fucking should be dead, and fuck you, I'll cut your head off, and Man Cow rules. Like, all right.
Those guys are now on social media as trolls. So
yeah, like, all right, whatever. You're right.
Much, yeah. So somebody on the text room, chat room said, Bubba came off the rails. Yeah, remember Hulk Hogan boned his wife? And
I do.
So he's got all these lawsuits going on.
So weird. You just say that out loud. You let Hulk Hogan fuck your wife, and you videotaped it, and then he was your friend, and you used it against him. What?
That's cuckolding, isn't it? Isn't that the definition? Unless he was so over his wife,
I don't know what
he was trying to blackmail him.
No, because they had that video, remember? And then the whole thing, he was tight with Hulk, and now they had a falling out, and then they had the lawsuit that went on. Remember, Hulk sued that website and made a Gawker or whatever it was.
Millions.
Because
Gawker shut down.
Yeah, and he shut it down because of that. And now, somebody's saying, I don't know how much of it's an act, but somebody's like, Bubba's broke. He's living in a small trailer on his buddy's property. And that's the thing that, he was saying. So
he's still doing radio?
Well, but he's losing stations like crazy. And he's on maybe an AM in Tampa or something like that now. But I think he lost his Fort Myers rock station. He had a station in Tampa.
I think he lost his wife.
Yeah, his wife's gone.
Is he the one that killed the pig live on the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he had his heyday like in, I think, like 90s.
When Shock Jock was, when you had to be a douche on the air and you were like, fuck you, fuck everybody. And when you're kind of angry and aggressive, that was his shtick. and that was the time.
Yeah. It was just radio was a lot different. In fact, my buddy Danny, who used to be on here at RMF, they both were on, I think, in Grand Rapids together doing nights, and Bubba was on doing this whole campaign about how Danny had AIDS and was dying.
Oh my God!
I mean, could you imagine that now?
Right, and I think that was another thing where like Danny was going to sue him because he's like, well, I don't have AIDS and I'm not dying yet. He keeps doing this whole thing about. It was like, I guess what date Danny's going to die of AIDS,
God.
and you're just like, what?
That's so over the top mean.
Hardcore.
Gosh, I mean,
We're just doing like, we're going to take the date that, guess what day he's going to die of AIDS, and you're just like, okay. Yeah, not my style.
Hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so that
that's
not my style.
That's not my style either, man.
How's your beer over there, Ralston? You need a new one?
Yeah, here in a
Okay,
minute.
all right, I'm gonna get you a new one.
Virginia was very set on me having 2 beers today.
I just think 2 is a good number for you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Let me see. Here is a probing question for Virginia. Virginia made a big deal about Panda going on a vacation with Rocco. How does Panda feel about a girl's trip with Mags? Did he make a big deal too?
No, he's probably
Why
going-
is this okay?
He's probably like, sweet.
Yeah.
This is fucking awesome. Oh, peace.
Tell me, because they're thinking it sounds like the exact same situation, which you gave him a hard time about.
Well, why don't you call him? I mean, he keeps bringing it up. He's tender about it, and he's not happy that we're going without him.
Why are you going without him?
I think because he was supposed to go to Buffalo with Rocco, and that fell through. And I said, okay, if you're going to Buffalo with Rocco, I'm going to California with Mags. Peace.
I got nothing to say because when I fucking put my nose in it,
No,
she gets
interject.
Okay.
I got nothing.
So this is really kind of the same situation, and like you were salty, you were saying that he's also salty?
Yeah, that would be correct.
Do you feel like he has a right to be salty?
Yeah, I think both of us do. Because if this is how we're going to do our shit, take separate family vacations, it's kind of fucked. I don't like it, but I'm doing it because I had the miles on JetBlue. I had the free ticket, and he can't get the days off, and I just said I'm going.
Here, my whole thing about all this kind of stuff, in the grand scheme of it all, none of it means a hill of beans. And when you're on your deathbed, when Panda's on his deathbed, and when all of us are on our deathbed, so much of the little small shit, it don't matter. I would just let it go. But hey, what the fuck do I know?
You're right. Zen Bird is right.
What do I know? I've never been married.
I think that going forward, we should stop the separate vacations. Nobody should be taking vacations without the whole family together. That's my thought process.
Mm-hmm. I also think, too, it shouldn't be, tit for tat. I'm mad because you did something, and let me do something, and fuck it. I would just say, clean slate. Let's move forward. Let's not do the past thing because a lot of, I would just move forward and try to do a vacation together. But again, what the fuck do I know?
So when you come back, do you think you're going to come back to a salty Panda?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because we're going to be gone Friday through Tuesday. That's a lot. I mean, I'm sure his mom is going to help him with Rocco, but it's basically going to be him and Rocco. So
Okay.
I can't imagine he's going to be relaxed, chill,
Yeah, it's not okay.
happy Panda.
Yeah, but it's a different dynamic. I know sometimes when you're parents, that's kind of fun to have a different dynamic and get to stay with the kids. I like that sometimes.
I like it. I think you should turn every experience into an adventure.
Okay, all right.
I tell you this though, as far as like the relationship with me and Mags, she is so excited about just having me all to herself and
Yeah.
it just being the two of us.
That's cool, yeah.
Bonding, loving, and giving her what she craves that she never gets.
Yeah.
She's 13, Rocco's 3. Rocco gets all the attention. It's just
Right.
the way it is.
Yeah, and so she's, I'm sure, very excited about that.
So for that respect, I am very, very happy that I'm be able to do this for Mags because she deserves it.
That's how I would look at it. I'd be like, me and Max taking a trip together.
Yeah.
No
She's
drama.
a great kid at all A's and B's, works hard.
Right.
Super, super motivated, great work ethic.
And it's different than if you're taking off by yourself or you're taking off with a bunch of girlfriends.
True.
I think of all those kind of things. It's lesser.
I think it's healthy sometimes for married people to stay away from each other for a little bit. I get some friends that they are up each other's ass constantly, and all they do is bicker and fucking snip and nip and fan. And it's like, y'all need a little bit of time apart so you can clear your head. Everyone needs a room of their own. You can't be up someone's ass all the time. I think it's so unhealthy.
And we're not. So I think that's why I know I crave the together time because we just don't get it.
Right.
So for us, I believe we're better together.
I think it's smart. I think you guys have a good time.
What the fuck do I know? People, every time I talk about relationships, people call me up, Bert, you don't have a relationship. You don't fucking know. You don't have kids. Every time.
You need a beer?
Yeah. No. Kevin, do I need a beer?
Yeah, I just cracked one.
Oh, well,
so
then.
time-wise,
Come
I'll
on.
probably go a little bit later today.
I like fuck it.
Yeah, I'll go probably a little bit later today.
I like Jerusalem, Kev.
I've only got to cut 58 commercials for when I leave.
Denny's told me how many commercials you have to cut.
Almost 80.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
80 commercials.
Nothing like doing that with a good buzz. Yeah, when I. Now my logic's a little broken today too.
My favorite is when we've been drinking on the podcast, and then we have to record a call after, and then the next day I'll hear it and go, ooh, all of a sudden, Virginia's sober, and then Virginia's she's lisping.
She's a little lippier than normal.
Yeah.
And then you're back to normal. It's so weird.
Don't you wish you could do that? Don't you wish you could be drunk and have some fun and then snap your fingers and be normal?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's didn't you have a story about that? How they're trying to develop a beer where you don't have any hangover effect whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always it. I mean, with anything, and they're trying to design stuff, now because, I mean, it is. We're getting so particular. And like I told you, my doctor buddy that does the weed, he's got, I was blown away, since Denny's, this guy actually just amazed me because he opened up this cabinet. He's like, going, this does that, this does. And I mean, labeled to the specifics of, and I smoked a little bit with him, and he's like, you'll laugh your ass off, and in 30 minutes, you'll be completely back to normal. And we giggled our asses off at the stupidest shit for 20 minutes. I had a great time. And then I'm like, holy crap, he's right. I'm totally back to, I don't even feel anything at all.
I want to try that.
It was so awesome. I'm like, my gosh.
Well, they got
What's your friend's name?
I'm not going to go that route, but yeah.
Yeah, they got the kind that makes you a little bit more upbeat, alert, and then they got the kind that's the couch lock, where if you don't want to go out and you want to just chill at home, you smoke that, and then you're just there to chill out. But then there's the other kind that has you up and about doing stuff.
Yeah, no, and that's where I think it's amazing. That's why, to me, greenlight all this stuff and let people get really good at it, and manipulate it, and trick it out, because I'm a big believer. I think stress is really bad for you, and I deal with that a lot. I get to the point where my chest gets tight, and I just don't, and my neck's
You're
cracking.
You're legit
and,
stressed out.
Yes, and I understand that that's not healthy for my heart and everything else I got going on. And I do work out and all that stuff, but I've actually worked out, and I come back, and my chest is still tight. And so sometimes for me, it is a beer or two, and I hate to say that's the case, but it is. It's just a matter of fact with the stress you build up.
Yeah, people will...
It releases muscles that you can't otherwise get released.
People will have negative comments and say you shouldn't talk about drinking and all that stuff and how the benefits of it, but I'm sorry. 2 beers when you're stressed out...
Be responsible, yeah.
It does make you feel slightly, at least for me personally, 2 beers on a stressed out day can be like, okay, I'm a little bit more relaxed. No, I don't do that every day.
No, I know a lot of it I do it, because it makes you feel better. And one, I think there are legitimate health benefits to it. I read the effects of stress on your body and the effects of alcohol on your body a lot, and try to make the best decision on what I think is healthiest for me. And stress does kind of scare me out because I read of a lot of diseases, heart diseases and things like that prolonged stress does to your body. And there's no way getting around the stress with this gig.
And over drinking's never good.
No, it's not.
It's just
I'm not endorsing that.
Yeah. And none of us are. Not to say we've never done that.
You don't speak for me.
But over drinking is it's not good.
Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, hey, look, if you can get weed to that point where it's like you can go home and you drop a little something on your tongue, and it's like I'm not I can function, but it just and it takes away whatever that tension is. How great is that?
It's a dream.
I mean, to me, that's exactly. I would do that every night if I could drop something on my tongue and then.
Well, you don't have a hangover when you wake up. You're fine.
I don't even need to be like buzzed. I just want to I just want that tightness and anxiety to go away that a lot of times I just really can't shake.
That's why I like a little Xanax at bedtime. But the problem with Xanax,
it's fucking.
the problem with Xanax,
Right.
not a lot of Xanax now. I'm not even talking a whole Xanny bar. I'm talking about the tiny ones.
Xanny bar? I mean,
A bar
that's
is-
the fucking like drug dealer term.
A bar is 4 pills.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a half of one of the pills.
Yeah, no, I all I'm saying about something like that is Xanax with the wrong personality and with the wrong settings is not the best move for everybody. It does
No,
work.
I won't even do it. I won't
problem-
touch any of
but
that
The
stuff.
problem with it
Yeah.
is, though, the next day when I wake up, I still feel slug
Yeah.
from it. If there was something that
Mm.
could put me in that sleepy, just hazy, I'm going right to bed like
Yeah.
I'm on an angel's cloud. That's a good feeling. I
Yeah.
just like that.
It's one of those ones with great power comes great responsibility. You got to be careful with Xanax because it can wreck people's lives.
I don't believe in opioids at all. I don't like them. There's
Is
nothing.
Xanax
I
an
think
opioid?
Xanax, yeah, it's got to be.
Any
Xanax is one
of
those
those
ones
kind of
that,
prescribed
yes.
medications that alter your state. I don't like. My wife works at drug agency in Delray, and that's what she deals with. And it's just, man, seeing that effect of what it's doing to people's lives and the ODs. And
I'm not kidding
the
you, man.
addiction is insane.
I mean, and you'll get an email from someone that says they love Xanax. And I understand Xanax with the right dosage and doing it the right way. But
Yeah.
a lot of people don't. It's an easy drug to fucking have your life fall apart.
And the thing I see, the more I read, it just seems like it's a battle that makes so much money that the big pharmaceutical companies are fighting to keep it. And it's, to me, I think, destroying the fabric of America,
Well-
and we got to get rid of it. And that's why I think it'd be great to see, if not legalized weed, something else that has the effects that helps us kill some of the stresses that we have, which is usually why we run to these products in the first place, is to get a little bit of an ease from the tension of life.
Oh yeah, because life is fucking weird, man.
Right.
It's
So if
a
we had
weird
something,
ride.
just loosen us up and get, okay, the tension's gone. That's all I want. Just take the tension away from what I've done today.
But not everyone.
From my body.
Not everyone's a Kevin Ralston.
I know.
That's able to. You're a guy that moderation. Not everyone's like that.
Right.
And
yeah.
that's where you get into the problem.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping for is in the very near future, we come out with something that just you take and you just, whoa, I'm loose again. I feel great.
I could throw 9 innings right now.
Yeah. That's all I want. That's all I need right there. So yeah, somebody said Xanax is
it's a benzo. Yeah, it is. It's a
I don't
benzo.
know the difference, but like I said,
doesn't matter.
Anything that's prescribed,
It's
you,
not
I wouldn't touch
an
any
opioid. I don't
of it.
think it's an opioid.
No,
It's still highly
yeah.
addictive, and it still absolutely can. It can fuck up your world if you don't.
Just stuff I don't touch. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, if anyone does Xanax the right way, and
I do it the right way.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
I might do one a month.
What I'm just
And
saying.
it's a half a pill, and it's
Mm-hmm.
lovely.
I'm just saying I've seen it go bad for so many people.
Yeah.
So many people.
I think, I really think it's. Do you have an addictive personality? Yes or no? And I think if you have an addictive personality, it can really fuck you over. I am so lucky that I can just walk away. I cannot. I can. I do
Denial.
one Xanax.
Denial.
A whole month. I don't think about it. I don't crave it. I don't want it.
I've seen a few examples, and the thing that scares me, and again, I don't know all the groupings, but I know the stuff that prescribe things where I've seen people that were not addictive personalities and didn't have issues, that these drugs were so powerful that it alters your body chemistry in a sense where it's like you've got to have it, and it changed their life.
Well-
in that respect, and they weren't the kind of people that you would say, wow, okay, they're very disciplined people and didn't have any kind of issues. And they started with that, and then it just took them down
That
a
is
different
true.
path.
Yeah.
I have seen that.
Well,
That's
yeah.
true. With the opioids.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
The opioids
My examples
are the
two-
most insane.
Two separate
Look.
cases I know of people that were not those kind of people, and you're like, well, whoa, and the opioids messed them up.
I have seen Xanax turn people into something they are absolutely not. Opioid or not, Xanax, those benzos, they are just as dangerous as these fucking opioids. You got to be
Yeah.
careful with those too.
And they throw that stuff around like crazy. You know, my mother-in-law, she had broken her wrist, and they gave her painkillers, and she didn't take them. She's like, I don't even want to touch that stuff.
I told you guys I went into a doctor one time. I was in there for 3 minutes for panic disorder, for panic attacks. This guy, within 3 minutes, prescribed me lithium. Lithium. I was on lithium for 3 weeks for panic disorder.
What does that even do?
It made me into a zombie. My knees didn't work. I couldn't fucking come. It was awful. It was awful.
You kind of need your knees, and you kind of need to come.
And it actually made me severely depressed. Now, I am not over here saying lithium doesn't work for some people, but I was grossly misdiagnosed.
That's it, misdiagnosed.
Within 3 minutes, this guy's giving me lithium. I was not supposed to be on lithium.
My dad does that, and it changed his life. He was a mess.
It turned
he
me
needed it.
into severe depression on the lithium. But your dad probably needed it if it made him better.
Yeah, we got a lot of batshit crazy people in my line. Yeah, my grandma was nuts. My dad, yeah, he needs that stuff. Thankfully, I'm great.
So far, you're great.
No, I'm just waiting for it to hit.
Yeah,
I think if it hasn't hit yet, you're good. Because I watched my mom, and now looking back as an adult, yeah, I'm a fucking nut job, but I'm not bipolar. I don't have mental illness. I can look at things and rationally assess life. I can look back on my childhood when I was young and I didn't understand what was going on. My mother definitely had manic bipolar swings.
Yeah.
She was suicidal. We got into a car wreck one time and she was just like weeping behind the wheel, and I can remember being in the back seat in a car seat. That's how little I was, but you don't know. Like when you're little, you just think, oh, this is just how everything is. But as you get older, I think bipolar especially gets worse. So
Probably,
if you haven't had it hit you by now, I don't think you're going to get it.
The thing is, mental illness it's very prevalent with pretty much any family. You're going to have someone who's struggling. But I also think that mental illness is part of being a human. I think depression, I think anxiety, I think stress, I think all of that is going to affect people on different levels. I think some people have a harder time dealing with that, but this is a weird fucking ride. We're on this ball in the middle of nowhere. Being a human it's odd. It's an odd kind of thing. We're all going to have some fucking issues.
Yeah. No,
I think more people are talking about it now. Just the fact that they've got issues.
I think we all tether ourselves to something to try to figure out how to cope. Whatever your thing might be drugs, might be religion, might be something different, but we all tether ourselves to something to be like going, let's try to make sense of this thing.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to be judgmental about Xanax or any of this thing. I'm just saying you just got to be careful is all. I know it works, and I know people can be responsible with it. I have just seen people just be irresponsible with it.
Yeah.
Is all.
Got this email said, hey, there were some critical questions from Thursday's on-air discussion where you raised your hands and you never gave us the answers on yesterday's ATS.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. That's right.
Yes.
Well, aren't we a bunch of assholes?
Big time.
Not on purpose, just forgetful.
Just forgetful.
It could be all the beer and the Xanax.
Forgetful, yeah.
One was, have you ever taken psychedelic drugs? I think we had 3 out of 4 said they had.
Yeah.
I had taken. I've done mushrooms a couple times when I was younger. It's the hardest as far as the psychedelic. And is that even considered psychedelic? I don't even know.
Mushrooms are psychedelic. LSD.
Honestly, all it did for me was it felt like a pot brownie. I didn't trip. I didn't see.
I've tripped balls
on a mushroom.
On LSD.
Oh, I think that's a different animal. I think that's way different. Yeah, I think you are. I think that's legit designed to make you trip.
I tripped so hard, I will never, ever trip again.
I'd never do that. I would
never even touch it. All the money in the world.
I don't like those feelings.
I got natural LSD. I already think fucked up shit. So I don't need anything.
Yeah, I think people of my personality type, where you like control, like you don't like that kind of stuff.
No,
it
is not fun to me, and I just did it because like all these people, like I did it in the tail end of my high school years. Like all these people were doing it, but my 2 good friends, Jennifer and Rebecca, they weren't going to do it because they were not down with that kind of stuff. But all my trashy friends were doing it, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it. And Jennifer and Rebecca were in charge of watching me while I did it.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
And these poor girls were like, what did you do?
You went nuts.
I went nuts. They're like trying to calm me down. I tried to lay in the middle of the street.
Oh, my gosh.
I looked at McDonald's. I thought it was heaven. I thought I had died. And the Golden Arches were the gateway to heaven.
Ain't nothing fun about that.
Yeah, I had
like stupid.
Well, Jaber would agree with you.
I had a buddy of mine who said he had done LSD and then went to dinner with his buddy's parents. And
oh my God.
halfway through dinner, he said that the dad's face started melting.
Oh, my gosh.
And he freaked out, had to sprint out of the restaurant, and kind of the same thing, had to go in the shower. And it was this whole fucking
That doesn't
thing.
sound like fun.
It
Yeah.
is not fun.
Hell no.
Why would you ever want to be out of control of your mind?
But then I think some people have a different experience where they've had a peaceful experience. I just would, for me,
I don't want to roll the dice.
I'm not rolling that dice.
No.
That is too
Good.
risky.
Yeah.
I'll take a Xanax.
Have you ever pleasured yourself at work? I think all the guys said yes on that.
Yeah, so that was the story I didn't tell. So back in the day when I worked at the golf course.
Go slower.
Oh, you want sex? Back in the day when I was at the golf course.
Yeah.
So it was during the summertime, and I had just started dating this girl. We had just officially became boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't really think I liked her. I don't really think she liked me that much either. It was just one of those
Just killing time.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where both, I think, just killing time. And at the time, it was during the summer, so it was kind of slow, and I had to man this one area where there was no traffic really going on, and we had this little small bathroom, no air condition. It had all kind of frogs in there. It just was awful. Like,
Sounds great.
it was so gross. So we were sexting one another, and it was we were going back and forth, and she had wanted me to pleasure myself, and I said, well, I'm at work right now. I said, well, I have this gross ass bathroom. I don't think I said it was gross. I said, we have this bathroom right now. She goes, well, I want you to make a video of it and send it to me. Now
shit.
This is when the the Razor was popular.
Yeah.
And
The flip phone?
Like the video
That
stuff was
awful
kind of
looking
new.
video, yeah.
It was
so
kind-
grainy. That's good though, because if the video's out there, you can't tell who it is.
Yeah, so I actually had to email the video to her. It wasn't even like a text message. So
wow.
I had some weight to me. I had a big old belly at the time.
That's
So
hot.
I'm like, all right, this story gets so
What's belly bigger, your belly or dick?
So it gets the belly's way bigger. So here I am making this god awful video. My belly, I'm sitting on
Put your belly like up on the sink. And
Are you
then,
about to recreate it?
well, I'm sitting on the toilet because it's the only place you say it looks like it looks like I'm pooping. so not sexy.
You're sitting on the toilet jerking off?
The bathroom, there's no air conditioning, so I'm sweating literally my balls off. I look so slimy in the video, and I can hear this frog just going off, and I'm like, oh
It's
my.
like watching.
Yeah, so I end up, I didn't really finish. So I gave her like a little 30
Show.
second, a little show. But technically, I'm jerking off at work. So I email it, and I hear somebody a member comes up asking for, hey, where's there a card? So I'm like, so I quickly send the email, and I send the email off, and I walk out. I take care of the member, not my member, but I take care of the actual member there. And,
You already took care of your member.
and because I was in such a panic, I emailed it to my buddy. I didn't even email it to her. Me jerking off to my friend.
Which friend?
My buddy that I worked with at the time.
No.
So that was my. And I didn't think I could tell that story on the air.
You can.
Yeah, I didn't think I could.
What's your first reaction if you're his friend? You're like, what?
Dude.
Okay.
Luckily,
We
I.
ain't close like that.
Well, your first thought is to me like, okay, well, this is his way of coming out.
He's
No,
definitely
He's
gay.
without a doubt gay.
He wants to suck
That's,
that
that's
D.
my first thought. I'm like, okay.
Luckily, I was pretty tight with the dude at the time. He kind of got it. But yeah, that was my story. And it was.
Did you ever send it to the girl?
I Yes, I did send it to the girl, and it was.
Did she send you back one?
Oh yeah, I mean we were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. Yeah.
Sexy.
She sent me, I know you want details. She sent me.
She sent her own? Okay.
She was doing it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did. Yeah, but it was on the fucking Razor phone. So old school.
Yeah, no, mine was back at Wild. We had those like little private bathrooms. And again, with anything with me, it wasn't even like sexy. It's just like the thing about doing this show is getting prepared is stressful. and when you're under the gun, but you've got to be loose when you hit the radio. So there are a couple times like going, I'm too fucking clank. Like I'm trying to put the show together. So I'm like going, I'm just going to go rub one out so I can loosen up so I sound good on the radio. Yeah, so it was unsexy. It was like completely for functional radio purposes.
You weren't thinking about anybody?
No, you have to a lot of times. And
you have to. You have to think of people.
Yeah, because it helps because to me, I'm like, all right, speed this thing up.
It's never just business. There's definitely pleasure involved. You have to think
But you have to have the pleasure to get to where you got to go.
Mo and Sally?
Yes,
Mo.
Sally. Yeah, Mo.
Yes.
Mo. He walks by the bathroom. What's he doing there?
Why is he yelling my name?
Yeah, so and it wasn't often, but there was a couple times that I did where I'm just like going, oh my gosh. Again, stress.
Interesting.
And I'm like, because I've had that where I'm like, I've gotten on the show and I'm like going, I'm just too clanked, and I'm like going, all right, you sound like a freaking accountant doing a radio show. So it's like you gotta loosen it up a little bit, get relaxed.
I would never be able to do that at work. And I think it's because, like, I have to feel like in a safe space because it's such a vulnerable thing for some reason.
Yeah, it's easier for guys. I think same thing with peeing. It's easier for guys to pee. I think it's easier for guys to pleasure themselves. You don't need all that kind of stuff. Like, you just, you hunker over the sink or whatever it is on the toilet.
Whip it out.
Somebody wanted to know yesterday, too, that when we're doing that thing, if we ever had sex at work. Have you had sex at work?
Back a while with the Queen when we first got together.
At Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stains left in that place.
I think a lot of people had sex at. I think a lot of people had sex at that place.
Wild was wild. Yeah.
I don't think I had sex at work.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Well, congratulations.
I'm very boring.
You're not an animal.
I had a good time, but yeah. So that was it. Yeah, the ideal for me is when I arrive into the show and I'm prepared and relaxed. It's just always trying to get that fine place, and it doesn't happen often. But it's like, yeah, that to me is when it's like, oh, okay, everything's good. I'm relaxed. Let's go have some fun. That's it. Let me see. Final question here. Have you ever put something weird in an orifice just to see if it would fit? That was the other question we didn't get to. I thought was it Virginia that was saying?
I think me and you, I'd put a tire up my nose before, a Matchbox tire, to see if it would fit. When we started working it out.
I mean, I don't know if it's like weird stuff, but they've sent us like being in radio, they send you like little goodie bags and boxes of weird shit. Remember that time they sent us those pleasure eggs?
Yeah.
Where did you put it?
Yeah.
Well, I never would have gone out and bought myself a pleasure egg.
Was it a pretty big egg?
No.
It's not, is it the silver one?
It was like a smooth rock, kind of like maybe like a robin egg kind of thing.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like an Easter egg candy.
I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I took it home and tried it out.
Did you like it?
I did, but
I don't see you as a masturbator.
it's not like it's fun to me because I felt weird.
Because there's some.
It's like electronic and it's like because it vibrated.
There's some girls that love to masturbate, but you do not come off like one of them at all.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's weak as shit, V.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint all.
Sadly, all of our self-pleasure stories are very unsexy. They're all actually very.
Mine's awful. Kay Jacobs.
Mine's all about business. Yeah, the unsexiest jerking off stories ever.
Kay Jacobs in the chat room is like, "Oh my gosh, that was a terrible story, Jaybird." I cringed the entire time. I'm like, "It's my truth, though, dog. It's my truth."
Nothing was sexy.
Man's trying to open up.
Mm-hmm. Close it back up.
Close it back up. Close it back up before I slip an egg in it.
Wow, you tried the egg?
Oh yeah, I went for it. I was like, let's see what this is all about.
So you probably may I ask a very personal question?
Dig in.
You probably have not. You probably haven't masturbated once this year, have you?
On
your own. I'm talking about where Virginia just wants to masturbate and get her rocks off. Has that happened?
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
More than once.
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not really like something will happen and like when I go home, I watch my soap opera. I watch The Young and the Restless.
Gosh, your fantasies are so lame.
And sometimes it'll get me a little turned on.
Your fucking fantasies are so lame.
They get a little sexy on The Young and the Restless.
That's such weird. That's some soccer mom bullshit.
Y&R. Like,
I'm sorry.
It does. Wow.
Soccer mom porn over
This is the kind of stuff we would like kid our buddies about in high school. Like, your mom totally jerks off to Young and Restless.
Fucking days of our lives getting you wet? Come on.
Sorry. Young and the Restless, and sometimes Bold and the Beautiful.
That is some soccer
Virginia
ball.
soap opera, The Old and the Horny.
How did you take masturbation and make it fucking unsexy?
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you
Sorry.
make fun of your high school buddies about. Your mom is totally in there. Like,
It's my truth.
I expect that shit from my grandma.
Wow.
I'm sorry
Oh
I've
my
ruined
gosh.
masturbating females for you.
I think it's awesome, actually. I think it's very funny.
Yep. Let me see. Sarah said, I thought this was funny. I'm no longer in Florida. I love listening to the KVJ via the podcast. I searched for the So Much Blood movie on YouTube app, hoping I could watch this cinematic phenomenon. And this is what YouTube suggested. You got KVJ, but it recommended all these Bible verses like Psalm 35. And
I noticed
because,
that.
well, it's because you have the King James Version. A lot of times they abbreviate it KJV instead of KVJ.
Oh.
So, yeah, people are like going, why did I type in KVJ and I got Bible stuff back? It's because King
Kevin.
James. Yeah.
That
King
might
James Version.
explain some of the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
King James Version is very popular, and you can imagine Bible searches are way above KVJ searches on the internet. So.
Sure.
Well, I noticed I accidentally typed in KJV the other day looking for it because I wanted to pull something. I had to edit something on there, and all of these Bible verses came up, and I thought that was weird. And last year for Victims Galore, we put in the actual title 18 or older, not for kids, and it put us in link with all of whatever porn stuff is on YouTube.
Oh, really?
We're in the porn
wow.
or the religion.
You were adult content or
are.
Bible.
We go porn or religion.
It's so funny.
That is pretty funny. Good stuff. Let me see on the So Much Blood, which if you got time this weekend, definitely go check that out.
Yeah, thanks for everyone who's checking it out. It's doing well.
Yep. Let me see. Like Robert talked about how much he loved it. It's amazing how roasted Jaybird looks in there, almost like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
How Pasty Suits looks in comparison.
Yeah, well, people got to understand, there was a couple, because it was filmed within 2 months. There was like 3 days where we had to film outside for about 6 hours a piece.
That's not fun.
So one day I'm going to look less tan than others, but yeah, no, I definitely look very crispy in that.
Robert said, I was blown away with how beautiful and thin Virginia was. She's definitely a MILF, and I got to see plenty of her because she had to make multiple trips to the concession stand for wine refills. Mm-hmm.
You did?
Wine Reef. Oh, so this was at the
Premiere.
The premiere on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, I was chasing Rocco around too, so that was a little tricky.
Oh, okay.
It's
Had
hard
Rocco
to
there.
it's hard to run an R-rated movie where people are drinking and then controlling your 3-year-old.
It is. Rocco did not like the movie. He was excited for it because he heard us talking about it all day. So when the movie started, we sat right in the front row, and he was all pumped about watching it. The first sign of blood and scary, he flipped out and went running out of the theater.
Oh, really?
And then talked about it for 2 weeks now. I feel like a bad mom.
One of my favorite parts of the entire movie is when it's the close-up on Kevin. He goes, I am the Kevin Ralston. I love that.
People are like,
That stuck. The Kevin Ralston.
You played such a great cock. Oh, it was awesome.
yeah, that was, I'd see a lot about that. The Kevin Ralston.
The Kevin Ralston.
Yeah, that was funny. And then Robert called me out for not being there on Saturday. I am so sorry I did not make it. The Queen is, she's acting a little bit tweaky because we're going away for 9 days. And so even Cannon is starting to act a little bit weird. He was saying to me last night, he's like, so why don't I get to go on this trip? And he's like, he's having a hard time dealing with it. I'm like going, and he honestly would be bored to tears.
Right. It's a history trip.
My gosh. I mean, the Queen is going to be bored to tears. I don't know how I'm going to deal with her. I'm like, I couldn't imagine her and Cannon, and it's, you had to pay. It's not like, it's a cheap trip.
Right.
Is it expensive?
It's like I'll let you know. It's $5,000
A person?
Wow.
a person to go.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I've saved up. Yeah, that's why I found out about it. Like I'm like, okay, I'm saving the whole year for this. This is.
Does that
the way
cover
to do.
food and travel? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Food, travel, everything's in it. for
All
the $5,000.
inclusive.
It's all inclusive. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's $5,000. You don't want to waste $5,000 on somebody who's going to go and be miserable. And
Right.
So, yeah, this is the longest that we've been away with him. His grandma's going to have him, and, his sister will come out and help and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah.
She's a great babysitter.
She is. But, I mean, this is a big thing for him because he is a clingier kid, and he was our last kid, so we were clingier with him than we were the first two.
Sure.
So, I can already, as time is ticking down, the queen is getting more and more tweaky about it. And she's going because there's some people in our group she's comfortable with, but she doesn't know history. I was trying to tell her a story about, something I won't bore you guys with. And she's like going, are you going to shut up soon? Because this is so boring. And I'm like, well, you better get ready because you're dealing with 9 days of this shit that I'm telling you right now.
She turned into a Kardashian. Oh, my God.
She's just like, all right, can you just tell me when you're done talking? Because this is so boring. And I'm like going, this is actually very fascinating what I'm telling. If you were plugged into this trip, this would like blow your mind what I'm telling you right now.
I'm curious why she wanted to go.
I am too, to be honest with you. And so
it's not her thing.
I know. That's another psychoanalysis, and I've got my own theories on that, but it's very odd because this is not her thing. Like, to me, before I got into radio, I was into classical history. I just love this kind of stuff. And I know it's the most boring. If you're not into
Kevin trip.
If you're not into it, and you could, that's why I don't even talk, because unless you're into it, you don't care. This is going to bore you to tears.
The queen's not going for the history, though. She's going for the experience. And I think she also has some people. I mean, you guys are sharing friends from the church community.
Yeah.
She's got friends going.
Right.
It's an event. It's not. She don't give a shit about the history. She gives a shit about the process and the journey.
I think so. I think she's more about like going, hey, look at me. I'm doing a churchy type thing.
Yes.
So
I'm going to Jerusalem.
I think she thinks she gets some kind of credit somehow.
You get extra Jesus points.
Right.
Get into heaven quick. Do not stop.
Right.
Pass go.
Yeah, so she's doing that. But then last Saturday, and this is something that, to me, I'm personally kind of wrestling with myself. My daughter has got a boyfriend that plays on the Lynn basketball team.
Yes.
What's his points per game?
You know what? He had, I think, 16 last week. They're playing at FAU.
Okay.
And it's a big deal because Lynn's Division II and FAU's Division I.
Okay.
So they're playing. He plays a lot. He's a senior. And my daughter's been dating this guy, I think, since like February.
Okay.
And so he's been around for a while. And so, the queen wanted to see Caitlin because we're not going to see her for a while. And Caitlin, too, is at that age where she goes out with her friends and the clubbing thing. And so, we see her when she blesses us with her presence.
Gotcha.
So this was a day where she's like going, okay, I want to hang out with Mom and you guys come out to the game and, go check it out. But my wife has got this thing where, because to me, I'm like going, okay, we got to cut, we got to go. She's like going, well, this is a big game. We got to be here to support her boyfriend. I'm like going, it's my daughter's boyfriend. She's like going, he might be part of our family very soon. I'm like going, whoa.
Hit the brakes.
Yeah. And so we're not necessarily seeing eye to eye on. First of all, I'm uncomfortable with the thought. I mean, my daughter's 20.
Right.
Like, I hope that we're not talking about marriage or anything else, like, soon. But then his birthday is coming up on Sunday. And so I wasn't allowed to go to 21 Pilots, but my wife has put together a whole thing for him for his birthday on Sunday. And so, here I had
this guy's cock blocking your 21 Pilots?
I had meet and greet at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Fuck.
And she's like going, so you're going to go meet 21 Pilots and not support our daughter and her boyfriend on his birthday? And she's like,
why can't you bring basketball and Caitlin to 21 Pilots?
I only had 2. It's for me and a buddy. It's not like I can bring it's not like I can bring the birthday party into 21 Pilots. Like, hey, guys.
It's not like you can't go do that and come right back. You could.
Well, it's a BB&T.
You could still do it.
It's at 3:30. I'd have to leave at probably 2.
Oh.
Yeah, and like his thing starts at 1.
So it's not even your daughter, it's his party? Fuck that. No,
so this is kind of where we are right now. That was Saturday for me where
it's crushing.
It's not even a 21, is it just a 20th birthday? Or
no, for him it's his 23rd. I think he's 22.
It's not even a special birthday.
It's just his birthday.
Fuck that.
I know. So that was the battle we had last weekend where I'm like going,
your wife doesn't want to go to 21 Pilots.
well, she wouldn't go anyway. I was
that is.
I was gonna go with my buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't want you to go with your buddy. That's what that is.
I don't know. But anyway, but the whole thing is like now my daughter's boyfriend has kind of been grandfathered in like he's family, and so now I am tethered to I don't know how many Lynn basketball games this year, which go Lynn, but.
Basketball Kev. That's going to take the place of hashtag Jerusalem Kev. After you come back, you're going to be hashtag Basketball Kev.
So this
hashtag beat down Kev.
This is a new thing. So we support the daughter's boyfriend like he is family now is the new edict that has been dropped.
Lucas wants to know, does that, the price for Jerusalem, does that include drinks? Alcoholic drinks?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Are you allowed to drink on this thing? Is it one of those things where you got to fucking sneak of a flask?
No, to me, I'm like, I'm a grown ass man. Like,
thank you.
I'm not hiding anything.
Don't tell me what I can do.
I think you could. I know, like, my buddy Pastor Sean is going down. He's on staff, and at the church, and different churches are different. But he is at Christ Fellowship, and no one on staff is allowed to drink. You cannot have alcohol.
Wow.
And he would otherwise. I've gone on vacation with Sean, and he gets a non-alcoholic beer or something, So.
Oh gosh, why?
Because he has to. It's like.
But just get a squirt.
He used to brew his own beer because he was at another church that allowed drinking, so he would brew his own beer.
So he can't drink at all.
Nobody on staff.
Nobody on staff.
Look,
No.
I don't hate the policy. Because if you are an operation as big as Christ Fellowship, you have to protect. And you say to these guys, okay, here's your job. Do you want this salary? Do you want this gig?
Yeah.
Here's what it comes with.
No, I agree. And they try to, because there are a lot of churches. There's one, Calvary that is in Fort Lauderdale, and they had the head guy there was bonking a whole bunch of people in the church.
Not good.
Church in Chicago, same thing.
Bonking.
Big old church. Guy was bonking everybody.
Not good.
And, it's the worst thing, and that's why people hate religion or Christianity or whatever it is, because they're like going a bunch of hypocrites. Like, you're trying to tell me something, and then you're banging everything in sight.
I mean, they're humans.
They are.
Never take 100% with any human.
That's what I always tell people.
Gosh.
I'm like going, and some of the people that run the hardest at religion are the ones that got the biggest demons that are chasing them.
I mean, let's just look back. Humans are fucking flawed as shit.
Right. So that's it. Yeah. So if I found it, and if I found craft beer and all that kind of stuff, I would totally, totally imbibe. And I think the Queen's probably going to have some wine when she's there, because I think you can find wine if you can't find wine in Jerusalem.
Jesus turned water into wine.
Right.
Need I remind you?
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what we're looking for there. So anyway, on the beer tip, just wanted to throw this out here that got some Peace Train going on this weekend. Good people at Due South, Doug included, have donated some Peace Train to Future Six's Luau fundraiser. It's going to be Sunday at Driftwood in Boynton Beach.
They're a great group.
Yes,
that Future
they are.
Six. They do wonderful things for disadvantaged kids and kids that are dealing with mental issues and disabilities, and they teach them to surf. They bring them out and they show them all about, wildlife, conservation. They teach them the whole gambit. It's really a special program.
Yeah, they really do great stuff. I love everything they got going on, so go support them.
Yay, Due South, doing it right.
Also, Jen from the Amigos chat group said, hey, we're coming from Broward Friday night, hoping to see Bird at the Feast of Little Italy.
Yes.
Is this the group that can do the Captain Crunch costume? Is that them? Do you remember?
I don't know. Maybe I remember them. I remember did they do the Three Amigos at Cinco de Mayo?
I think that's
they
them.
were great.
If they are coming tonight, please grab me and talk to me. We got to talk about costumes. I definitely need a custom-made costume.
Yes,
I think
you do.
They are the right people to talk to.
Okay, well, they just want to know any idea where he's going to be, what time.
V, what time do I get there?
You get there tonight at 7.
Okay.
I'll be there around 6. So when you get there, just text me. I'll come escort you in.
But they want to know where they can find us. I mean,
yeah, you're going to be walking around.
You'll see us.
You'll see us, and follow social media too. So what I'm going to do is on the KVJ Instagram, if you like Insta stories, which I think is the hottest thing out there, follow the KVJ Insta story, because Jay Bird will be going all around sampling food, so you can up to the minute find out exactly where he is at the Feast of Little Italy.
You can't do comments on Insta story though, can you?
You absolutely can.
Well, how do you see them?
They come into your inbox.
Just the inbox? That's how, because on the regular Instagram you can see all the comments. On the
No, you can't see other people's comments. They're DMs. Insta stories
That's
only
why
have DMs.
I don't like it. Okay, that makes sense.
Insta stories only have DMs.
Yeah.
But Insta stories are indeed where it's at.
Because Virginia said so.
And it shall be done.
And it shall be done. Let it be written. Let it be done.
I just love Insta stories.
And I just love the Instagram post. So we are on opposite sides of the fucking
But
fence.
tonight we come together over rice balls.
That is such a dirty statement. We come together over rice balls. That sounds like a good Friday night.
Well,
Right.
don't worry, my husband will be there too. Just to,
Oh, he'll be coming over rice balls too.
he loves to come over rice balls.
Oh.
Those rice balls are fantastic, Kevin.
Yeah, I got to try one. You talked him up.
Oh,
pretty
they're
good.
so
You're
good.
talking to the wrong guy. You have to talk to Fat Kevin. You gotta
Fat Kevin, let me talk to you for a second.
Okay.
Have you ever had a pinwheel? Do you know what this is? This is pizza dough flapped
Oh,
over
no,
itself with layers of cheese.
Oh, you'd be all about this.
And
See, Fat Kevin, there's so much you're missing out.
seasoning.
Oh, I know.
And then they put this glaze on top of it that just, Pinwheels and rice balls are both by Cucina Bambina tonight. I have not had her parm crust. I'm sure it's good, but when I saw that she's doing the pinwheels and the rice balls, my two favorite things, I knew we were in good hands tonight, Bird.
Fat Kevin, please tell Jerusalem Kevin that we want him to eat rice balls.
I'll actually get some rice here. We'll see what happens.
Finally, someone besides Jaybird has alter egos on this show.
I know Kevin's Jerusalem.
Jerusalem Kev
I love
and
Jerusalem.
Fat Kev.
I love Jerusalem because Jerusalem Kev is a guy. He lets things kind of roll off his back. Things are going to be fine.
Just one day, I really was thinking about, like, I don't think the group will get it, but I was going to put on like a robe. Like, I want to, I really want to just show up and be like, what?
you got to tell
Jerusalem Kev.
Yeah.
You got to tell Hair Club you need that Jesus hair. See if
I
they
did.
can do
I did tell them
Yeah.
that. They're like going. She's like, I can totally give that to you. She's like, if you want it. I'm like going, yeah.
You would make at least one person very happy. if you
Yeah, I
did
would.
that.
I'm like, it wouldn't play well with 99% of the people I met, but yeah, two people would appreciate it.
My husband had Jerusalem hair when we first started dating. I love
Yeah,
it.
You
Yes.
love
Oh,
Pano.
I'd love to have it.
I
Pana's got
loved it.
unbelievable hair.
It's a little long right now. I like it a little shorter on top. When it looks more Jesus-like, I like it. So shorter on top and a little more fullness in the back. Really like a Jesus look.
Okay. Hey, I love it. Also, Deidre, my mom Deidre is our biggest fan apparently, and today is her 60th birthday. She listens every day, even the podcast.
Aw,
60th birthday.
Yeah.
happy birthday!
Dad, Amy, and Erica. Amy sent that in, so thank you very much for that. So
We love you.
appreciate it all. Very nice. Well, definitely see you.
What an hour, big guy.
Yeah, it was hour 15, baby.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
that's a movie.
Want to
That
give some
is.
people some stuff. So, yeah, while I'm gone, I'm going to try to do some stuff on social media. Pastor Sean's with me. He's doing a podcast himself, and he's got all the equipment. We might, who knows, maybe do a Godcast. And, I was thinking about even maybe when we come back, I know we got some people in there like Turkey Beard Dan that take a lot of nice ribbing shots at
Turkey
religion.
Beard Dan.
Turkey Beard
he
Dan.
changed his name again?
Me and him got into a debate about prayer yesterday. And
Yeah.
Turkey Beard Dan.
Well, you know what? I would like. I'm thinking about doing this. I'd like to do a podcast if I can get Sean to do it with me. I would like to take the biggest people who just like are targeting religion and like on that stupid who would believe in this, and sit down and do like a round table and talk to them about it.
I love that.
I think that'd be very fascinating because to let people know, like I try to pick as many holes into my beliefs as I possibly can. So that, when people come at me, I can say, hey, this or that or whatever. And I'm like, not like going, oh, you can't question it. So I do kind of the opposite. So I think it'd be fun for me as kind of like a little bit of a test to have somebody come at me about going, you're a moron. Why do you believe this? And why do you believe that?
Well,
I think
just
that'd be
love.
fun.
I love hearing what anybody thinks because honestly, we all don't know what's
Right.
Unless you've died, you don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Now, faith is a great thing, but you still don't know the answer. That's why I love talking. to
Yeah.
people who do believe, who don't believe.
I do a special thing where I think it would add some spice where I get like 5 people that are just like very anti-Christian and sit down with myself and Sean and then just like, let's go at it, baby. Let's
Get a
just have some
Turkey
fun.
Beard Dan involved.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what you got to say. He'd be a good guy to have on. I think that'd be a fun little podcast. And then I would never talk about my faith and all that stuff on here, but doing it there would be kind of cool. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Might be someone I get back.
I think it's okay to talk about your faith as long as you're not preaching at people that don't
Never would
believe
be.
your faith.
Never
I think
would
it's
be.
okay to
Yeah.
talk about your faith.
Yeah, I don't believe in being preachy. So yeah, we'll see. Who knows? When I come back, maybe it's something we'll do. I'll be wearing
Robes?
I'll be wearing flowing robes. I'll come back with Jesus hair and a long beard.
Jerusalem Kev.
We're big fans.
I'll drink a beer and we'll talk about Christ. All right.
Scotty Fusion, this is the key you need right now. We need a Jerusalem Kev meme.
Okay.
We need it by noon.
All right.
No pressure.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all later when I get back. You guys enjoy the show the next couple of weeks. Be good. Check out the social media. I'll make sure I post stuff up there. Be good. Later. Peace.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.